Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your daily dust for Monday, January 29th, if you're watching in real time, but it can also be for whenever you stumble upon it. It's a timeless reading. I'm using this Star Spinner Tarot for today. A really great deck that I love very much. I like all that pink inside. It has 4 lovers card, and I keep them all in the deck. And it has a lot of fairies too. And it's very inclusive and beautiful. So I'm going to do a 3 card collective message. Do a little shuffle first. Okay, let's take from the middle. We have, very nice, strength, fortitude. It's the Beauty and the Beast. It's also, that it's like soft control. It's like being a good influence. It's being kind of helping a person stay within their boundaries, it feels like, with healthy boundaries. And then we have 10 of Wands. It's a lot of responsibility, though, that's true. And 8 of Swords. Okay, let's zoom on in and see what we get. The Strength card doesn't have to be a couples card. It can be just your individual fortitude. And fortitude is representative of courage. And there's no courage without fear. Being afraid... If courage has nothing to do with like being fearless. Courage is doing something even when you're afraid. So this shows that you found a healthy measure of patience for yourself. And this is a reminder to acknowledge your shortcomings and all the anxieties that go with that. And then work your way forward. The lotus flower that she's holding represents the way the strength is cultivated. So out of the mud and through the water, a beautiful flower arises. And it could be like literally some kind of day where you're working with plants or flowers. It could be a day that you're working really hard, maybe feeling a bit overworked, but you've made a lot of accomplishments. So, but with the accomplishments, it almost feels like you still have more to go, right? You feel like you have so many responsibilities, and they feel like they're all yours. It almost feels like you don't know how to delegate, or you don't know how to get other people to help you, in other words, if you want to. But there's a part of you that I feel that maybe feels a little guilty asking for help or getting help from other directions. So the best way to continue, I guess, if you are thinking that you're the only one that can do this, and maybe you're right, is take your time, take breaks if you need to, cultivate and maintain everything that you work for and that you worked hard for, because this grand and beautiful garden requires more care and attention than a single potted plant. And you've built something grand, and you must shift your attention to its upkeep. So whatever progress that you've made with that single flower, it's just something that you have to continue to maintain and keep up. And you may need to call upon the help of others. This is kind of, in a very mundane way, this to me can seriously be somebody working on a rose garden and getting pricked by their fingers. This is a lot of work that you've decided to undertake for yourself. You could call a landscaper, but you find pride and joy of doing this on your own. So I think that's a great thing. But with doing your own work, sometimes you're going to have maybe small little injuries like hurting your finger, or small injuries like just being tired or overextending your muscles or something like that. If you get to the point though where you're working so much that you get into like a martyr syndrome, like, a woe is me, I'm trapped in this cycle and I can't get out and nobody's helping me, then that's kind of like defeats the hard work that you put into it, because the hard work you put into it was meant for a pleasurable experience, like meant for your pride and joy. It wasn't meant for resentment and unhappiness. So be careful of how far that gets pushed, right? How far you push yourself so that you end up in a situation that you feel like resentful, or you feel trapped or caught or something like that. It is a bit of a cycle that's happening here, and it could be somebody that you're dealing with, that somebody you're having conversations with that has sort of like that stuck feeling, and they're not really expressing themselves on how they want to get out, but they seem to be sending signs to you that they want you to help them somehow. And it could be like a person who's built sort of a reputation, a garden of sorts, something they built that they don't want to lose, but they have to maintain. They have responsibility, and then they feel stuck in this responsibility and they can't get out of it. If they try to get out of it, they're afraid they're going to be badly hurt, or worse, their reputation will be tarnished, or that some deception will come out and people will look on them badly. So there's this mix of pride, Leo pride, and there's a mix of responsibility and accomplishment with a tinge of sadness, in a sense, a sadness that you work so hard but you have so much still to upkeep every day, and then this feeling like you're in a cycle. It can be a little rough when that happens. I feel like people that feel like they're in this kind of cycle when it comes to work or relationships or anything else need to find a way to break the routine, taking a vacation or trying a different thing on a particular day to help stop this monotony, so you don't stay in this kind of resentful, stuck energy. So if it's you, then maybe try that. If you're noticing somebody else going through something like that, then maybe you can help offer them some relief in a different way. Like say, hey, like if it's a mom who loves her kids, but it's a big responsibility, you can say, hey, I'll babysit if you want to, or why don't we get somebody to babysit and you and I go out, or something like that. So it could be just something simple like that. Something that needs a cycle that has some joy to it, and has some accomplishment, but has a lot of responsibility, and also is a little tiring and frustrating. And I think there could be some people out there that may be afraid to express, like, when women have babies and they go into postpartum depression or something, a lot of times they won't tell people what's happening to them because they feel a little bit ashamed. They just had this beautiful miracle happen, and now they're feeling sad about it. And I guess in some ways women may feel like, well, I shouldn't be feeling that, but it's natural. Like your feelings, whatever you're going through, good or bad or angry or sad, they're legitimate, and you don't have to hide them for fear of being labeled or put down. You should find a way to express that. Seek therapy, seek counseling, seek a friend or pastor or spiritual person or something like that to help you get through that kind of stuck energy when it comes to feeling that way after going through such a beautiful accomplishment. Anyway, so I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.